everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Here today we're going to make this lovely houndstooth shawl. It is so gorgeous, so classic, very, business chic, and I absolutely love it. This one today we're making a shawl, but I'm going to show you how to make this type of stitch, and you can make this, once you master this stitch, you can make this into, a neck scarf, a cowl neck scarf, a baby blanket. You can go wild and make a bedspread if you want. So this is a very simple stitch that actually looks like you slaved away and tried to work really hard on it. I mean, you are working hard, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so the type of yarn we're going to use today is Red Heart yarn. Very simple too. We're using Red Heart Super Saver in just black and white, but Houndstooth, the classic look is the black and white, but lately the new trend is bright houndstooth, so you can go crazy with color and go wild. You need 2 colors though, and you need 8 ounces. I use 2 skeins of each color, so 8 ounces of each color actually, so 16 ounces of yarn if you're going to make this exact shawl that I'm using. Obviously, if you're going to make a blanket, you'll obviously need more. If you're going to make just a smaller cowl neck, you may just need 1 skein of each. So I got these little skeins that are 202 yards, so you would need about 400 yards of each color. In this Red Heart Super Saver, which is worsted weight yarn, size 4, medium yarn. So you don't have to just use Red Heart. You can use Caron Simply Soft if you'd like, or any other type of yarn that is equivalent to this. The color, I have the label for black here, and then this is just white. I don't have much yarn left because I used it in making this. So just black and white, plain colored yarn. The type of hook we are going to use for this is a size 5.5 millimeter, which is an eye hook. So make sure that you have that, as well as a yarn needle and scissors, because we are going to sew in some ends and cut our yarn, obviously. So those are all the supplies we need. Now with my shawl, I found this beautiful brooch at the thrift shop, and so I'm adding that to attach the pieces so that this will lay on my shoulders, and I'll have that just a little fashion statement piece there. Before we start, I do want to mention to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. You can get updates on when I put new videos out. I try to get 1 or 2 out every week, and make sure to check all the links in the description of this video. This is a free pattern, and I got inspiration from another pattern I found online for free, so I'll put the link to the original pattern. I found a pattern that was like a cowl neck scarf online that is just beautiful, so I'll put the link to that one there. But this is my own pattern that I made a little extra long and a little different. So I'll put my pattern for free for you all and on my website. So put the links and everything in the description of this video. Make sure to check out that, and the Facebook and Instagram, Snapchat, all that good stuff, so you can see behind the scenes kinds of stuff. But this is what it looks like, the front, and then the inside. It's pretty much reversible. It looks like the classic houndstooth look, which is so pretty and classic, very classy. So I will leave you to it, and let's get started on this lovely project. Alright, to start out we have to make a slip knot, and we're going to start with black. So put the short end over the long end, fold that down, and then pull that through. Okay, and insert your hook, and we're ready to go. Now, to start off, we have to chain an odd number of stitches depending on how wide you want this to be. If you want to make what I'm making exactly, chain 45. So make sure that's just an odd number, but I'm going to chain 45. So just yarn over and pull through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I won't make you watch all 45, so just chain until you have 45 chains, and then I'll meet you up when we go on to row 1. Alright, this is what our chain looks like. We just chained 45, and this is how wide our shawl is going to be. Okay, and now in the second chain from the hook, we are going to put a single crochet. So the loop that's on your hook never counts as anything, so count 1 and 2. And what I like to do is turn my chain, so I'm looking at it like this, but I like to turn it so we look at the back ridges of our chain. And I like to work in those back ridges, just because then the edge of this will be a nice clean edge, and we are going to be single crocheting around this piece when we're all finished, so just that'll be a clean edge to work with. So in the second chain from the hook, 1 and 2, we're just going to insert our hook right in there, and then yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through both loops that are on your hook. That is a single crochet. Now in the very next chain, we are going to make a double crochet. So yarn over, go into that next chain, yarn over and pull that through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops on your hook. That's a double crochet. So we're just going to repeat those alternating stitches throughout this whole chain. So this next chain we're going to put a single crochet, so go into the chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Then go into the next chain, or first yarn over and then go into the next chain, and then yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops for a double crochet. Then the next chain we're just going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops for a single crochet. Then a double crochet in the next chain, so yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so just alternate those 2 stitches all the way across. Now you want to end with a double crochet, but do not finish off your double crochet. We are going to change color to white, so I'll just meet you up when I'm going to be finishing this row. So make sure the amount of chains that you have, if you made this bigger, if you're making a blanket or a smaller scarf, just make sure that you had an odd number of chains, because you have to start the row with a single crochet and end the row with a double crochet. So make sure that you have that. So I'll just meet you up then when I'm at the end of this row. Just alternate your single crochets and double crochets all the way across. Alright, so I'm just finishing up this row here. I just have 3 more stitches left. So I'm ending this with a double crochet, but when you're on your last chain, make sure to not finish your double crochet, because we're going to change color. So yarn over, go into the chain, yarn over and pull that through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, but then hold, and we're going to get our new color, white, and we're just going to fold this around our finger like this, and then yarn it over and loop it onto the hook, and then pull that through, just like that. Okay, but in this project, we are going to be working over the top of this straggler here. We're not going to ever cut our yarn, so we never have to sew in our ends, because we're switching colors every row. So it's nice to have this black strand across. So once you pull that through, we're going to chain up 1. So yarn over and pull that through just like that. Turn your work. And so I was kind of explaining how we're going to crochet over the top of this straggler here. So get this out of the way. And then put this black, pull this black up and over the top of your row like this. Okay, so now you're holding it on there, and we're going to crochet with white now. And we have to work in this same stitch right here that we just chained up 1 in, which is our double crochet. So now on row 2 is our repeat row. So this is what our repeat is going to be for the rest of the pattern. Make sure that you work over your straggler every row, and we're going to go into the double crochets with a single crochet, and we're going to make a double crochet in the single crochets. So a single crochet in the double crochet and a double crochet in the single crochets. So this first stitch right here is going to be a little difficult to see with this straggler that we're working over the top of. So go in underneath this straggler here and into the first stitch, then yarn over and pull it through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So that's our first single crochet. And once that's secure, then we're good. Now in this next stitch right here, we're going to put a double crochet, but again, working over the top of our straggler. So yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now since this next stitch is a double crochet, we're just going to put a single crochet in there. And notice again, I am working over my straggler, this black strand here, because at the end of this row we're going to pick up that black. So I'll show you how to do that. So now next stitch is a single crochet, so we're going to put a double crochet in there. Then the next stitch is a double crochet, so we're going to put a single crochet in there. Okay, so we're just alternating these stitches now. And every row you start with, you're going to start with a single crochet and you'll be ending with a double crochet. Okay, for every row from here on out. So we're just doing the alternating of the double crochets and single crochets. So just do that all the way across. Make sure to do the double crochet in the single crochet from the previous row. Also, when you're pulling this, you want to pull this straggler, this black straggler here, tight, but you don't want it to be too tight because this then won't stretch, and then your piece will be just really stiff and small and not very pretty. So you want it to be snug enough, but not too tight where you're pulling it like this and then scrunching this up like that. So you want to stretch it out and make sure that it is hidden underneath those stitches. Okay, so we're going to do just our alternating these stitches all the way across. Then I'll meet you up when I'm at the last few stitches of this row, and I'll show you how to go on to row 3. Alright, so I'm just finishing up this row, so you want to end with a double crochet here. So you can see I have one single crochet left, so I just have to double crochet in there. But now we're not going to finish our double crochet, so we're going to go in like we are doing a double crochet and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. But now we're going to drop the white and pick up the black. Okay, and we are going to make sure that you stretch this out to make sure that it is as wide and not, you know, like when you pull this tight, you don't want it to be like that, like I showed you earlier. So make sure that you stretch this out, make sure that it is all stretched and that straggler is hidden. Drop your white, pick up your black, and yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops, and then chain 1 and turn your work. And now we're just repeating row 2, so just put this straggler over this row, put a single crochet in this first stitch here where we just chained up 1 in, but underneath this this white straggler here. Then yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So that's our first single crochet. Okay, now double crochet in this single crochet, but again we're working over our white straggler now, and we're working with black. Now in this stitch, this is a double crochet from the previous row, so we're going to put a single crochet in there. And then this next stitch is a single crochet, so we're going to put a double crochet in there. So it's so simple. Start off with a single crochet and just work alternating stitches. Single, double, single, double, single, double. And once you get the hang of it, I mean, then it's a piece of cake. So just make sure that you don't forget to work over this straggler. I know I did a few rows on a prototype and I messed up and I left the straggler behind. And then I got to the end of the row and I'm like, oh, where's my new color? So I screwed up. And then I had to take the whole row apart and crochet over the top of it to get it to the other side. So don't make the same mistake I did. And we're just going to alternate these two colors, these two rows, and you can start to see here it looks like the houndstooth design, which is really cool. So once you make more, and when you look at it at a distance even, it looks like the real deal, like the houndstooth design, which is so classic and so beautiful. So I think this is going to turn out wonderfully. So just alternate your stitches, and then I'll show you how to go on to row 4, but then after row 4 I will leave you on your own to do the rest of the pattern, and we'll meet up then when we are finishing. Alright, so I'm just finishing up this row, but I want to make sure to remind you to kind of stretch this out because it kind of started curving a little bit with that straggler. So now I just have my last 2 stitches here. Okay, so on our last stitch is a double crochet, and we're not going to finish it. So yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, drop the black and pick up the white, and yarn over and finish that off. Okay, then chain up 1 and turn our work and hold the black straggler across this row and work a single crochet in the first stitch where that last double crochet is, where we just chained up 1 in. We're going to make a single crochet in there, and then make a double crochet in the next stitch, and just alternating those 2 stitches across, working on the top of our straggler all the way across. So basically just repeat row 2 for the rest of the pattern. That's that simple, and at the end of this it is going to look like you just made a masterpiece. It is going to look fabulous. So just continue working this pattern. Now I made 113 rows for my shawl. You can do as many rows as you want to make it as long as you want, but that's how many I'm making, is 113 rows if you want to make exactly what I'm making. And otherwise, you know, go for it and be as creative as you want. If you're making this into a blanket, if you're making this into a smaller scarf, you can make it into an infinity scarf, you can make it into a placemat, you can make it into basically anything you want it to be. A baby blanket, a large blanket. The possibilities are endless, and I'm talking so much that I am messing up. There we go. So make sure that you have to look at the previous row. If you don't know what stitch you're on, just look at the previous row and you can see, oh, that's a double crochet, so I have to make a single crochet in there. And the next one is a single crochet, so I have to make a double crochet in there. All the while working over the top of your straggler. Make sure you stretch that out. And these are the only 2 ends you're going to have to sew in, which is awesome. So I'll just meet you up when I finish row 113. It's going to take a little while, and then we can finish this all together. We're gonna make a single crochet row around this piece as well. So I'll show you how to do that after row 113. Alright, so I just made my 113 rows. This is what it looks like. Took me a while. So this is one side and this is the other side. I personally like this side a lot better. It looks more like the houndstooth design, but both sides, it's reversible, so both sides are beautiful. And we're just going to finish off here on this row, and then we're going to make a border in black. You want to end, since we started with black, you want to end with black, just so it's even on both sides. And I just need to finish these 2 stitches here. So I'm crocheting over my white, but at this point you can cut your white and make our last double crochet in there. And we're going to finish off our double crochet with the black. So yarn over and pull through all that jazz there. So white is done, and now we can single crochet all the way around this piece. So chain up 1 and turn your work. And now we're just going to put a single crochet in black all the way across this row in each stitch, 1 single crochet in each stitch, just to give it a clean edge there. And then we're going to crochet along the side as well. So, you know, at that point, you know, at the end of this row, you could have just ended it by fastening off, and you could just leave it like this if you like this design on the side. I'm not a big fan of it, so I want there to be a clean edge. So you can just follow along here, but if you wanted to end it there, that was totally fine. Whatever you want to do, creator's choice, I guess. So just follow along here. I'm going to just single crochet to the first corner. I'll show you how to go around the first corner, and then I'll leave you on your own to finish crocheting around this whole piece. Alright, I'm coming up on my first corner here, so what we have to do, I'm just going to single crochet in these first two. Now when you get to the corner stitch, this very last stitch on this row, put 3 single crochet in there. 1, 2, and 3. So now you can turn and work down this side here. So you can turn your work like this. And basically wherever your hook fits is where you're going to put a single crochet. And it's going to be approximately 2 on the double crochets and 1 on the single crochet. So that's basically how it's going to be done. Just basically wherever your hook fits. Sometimes, you know, only 1 stitch will fit where those double crochets are. So it's really, I mean, just so that there's a clean edge along this side, and then this is how it's going to look all the way around like that. So so now in every corner just put 3 single crochets in that stitch, and then when we're all finished, we'll fasten off together and enjoy this piece. Alright, so I'm coming up on the end here. I just single crocheted around everything. Now, since we just made 1 single crochet in this first stitch, make 2. 1 and 2, so then there's a total of 3. Then slip stitch to this first single crochet that we made. Slip stitch is just inserting your hook, yarning over, pulling through and pulling tight. And then to fasten off, we're just going to chain up 1 and cut our yarn, and then pull it all the way through and pull tight. And there we have it. Now we just have to sew in this straggler here with our yarn needle, and we're just going to sew it underneath a few stitches. Just like that, and pull it, stretch it out, and cut that last piece. But there you have it. There is our shawl. So you can see both sides. This side is looking more, the white is more prominent, and then this side the black is more prominent. I personally like this side better, but it's reversible, and this is what it looks like. Just beautiful. So there you have it, your Houndstooth shawl. And you can make this, you know, like I said, you can make it skinnier or even wider. You can make a baby blanket out of this. You can make a huge blanket out of this. You can make, you know, anything really. But I just made this beautiful shawl for the winter. It's just going to look fabulous. And if you look at it this way, it really does look like the Houndstooth design, which is really cool. So thank you so much for watching. As always, I want to thank our videographer and editor of this video, Fuad, for taking the time out to make this with us. Make sure to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube and join us on Facebook, where you can get inspiration from other crocheters and share your work as well. If you make this, please share your work. I would love to see what you come up with. I mean, you can make this in different colors as well. You know, I just made it in the traditional black and white, but you can make it in so many colors. It's just fabulous, and it's classic. So thanks again. Happy hooking! One last thing I wanted to share with you. For this shawl, the way I'm going to wear it, you'll see in the picture obviously, but these two corners are going to be overlapped like this. And then I have a brooch here that I got just at a thrift shop. It's so pretty. And I'm just going to pin the two layers then together. Just like this. So then that will be secure and closed. So I suggest if you are going to make this style of shawl, to have a brooch that will secure that closed then, and then that can lay on your shoulders like this. So thanks so much for watching. Have a good day.